I'm Melissa Torres.
And I'm Marmie Leach.
And this is Movin with Mel and Marm.
So this is episode 1 of our podcast, Movin with Mel and Marm. I'm sitting here with Mel, aka Melissa Torres. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
What have you been up to?
Today's been a little stressful this week because I have a buyer under contract and our option period's ending and we're trying to negotiate and there are quite a few repairs. So, you know, it's always kind of hard when that happens.
Yeah, it's always stressful when you're negotiating like right to the deadline.
I know. I hate short option periods. Like, I thought we were over this.
Yeah.
What has been going on with you?
Not much. Just wrangling the 3 kids.
Yeah.
Maddie got a car, so
That's
she's
so exciting.
driving. The boys, Nicholas is playing flag football, so we have been going to lots of football games.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
We are actually doing SMU tailgate this weekend.
Oh, fun.
I have some friends coming in town, so it's family weekend at SMU, and I have like girlfriends coming in town, and we're doing like just a single tailgate for this weekend. So I've been like running around getting everything organized for that. I'm excited. It'll be fun.
I love football season.
Do you?
I do.
But do you actually like go to the games?
Yeah. So I've never been to a Cowboys game.
Yeah.
But I like school football. I
Okay.
like high school football.
Yeah.
It's just so exciting.
Really?
Yes. It is like football is life in Texas and I am totally here for it.
I love that.
There's lots going on at the games. I love the hot dogs. I love the cheerleaders and the drill team or what does BL call it? The brigade, I think is what they call them. But I just love it all.
Actually, we are in our like very girly trailer.
Yes.
This is where we're recording our episodes for our podcast. It's pink and white.
Yes.
And it's so cute.
Like a 1965 Scotty something. I don't know.
I love it.
And
I'm so obsessed.
It was previously used as a photo booth. So it is like, you know, we're going to get some more curtains and stuff. But it's super cute.
I love it. Maybe one day we'll do like an MTV Cribs tour when this podcast becomes like number 1 on Spotify.
I mean, maybe we're going to like film on location. Like go to different.
We will.
Because, I mean,
we'll get a camera crew and everything.
Yeah. I mean, we're putting this into the universe. This is going to be super successful.
So what are we going to talk about today?
So we are talking about today what a realtor does, because it is like anytime someone is not in real estate and is like, oh, I think I should be a realtor. I love looking at houses. Like, yes, we do that.
Oh my God. Do you just love like looking at pretty houses all day?
Yeah. Like
that's all I do. I don't use my brain or anything.
That is like a teeny tiny portion of what we actually do.
Yes.
And so we just want to set the record straight.
We're going to set the record straight.
Yeah. I mean, this is like...
We're giving the nitty gritty, all the things you wanted to know and even more that you didn't want to know.
Yes. Yes. So what would you say like your daily, a normal day looks like for you?
Honestly, every day is so different. That's what I love about real estate though, is like that every day is different. There's not like a schedule, you know, sometimes that can be good. Sometimes that can be bad. A lot of times I'm looking around on MLS, keeping up with the trends, trying to figure out what's going on with the market. I'm probably making a lot of phone calls to people. Maybe I've got a listing I'm trying to sell and I'm trying to convince people to come take a look at it. Definitely dealing with like option periods, like after you have an inspection. Sometimes we do some fun things too, like staging can be fun. It can also be very sweaty.
Yes.
What about you? What do you think you do?
Yeah, definitely keeping up with the trends and keeping educated. So
yes.
Looking at what's going on in different neighborhoods, networking with realtors, because a lot happens off market. So it's important to know, like, yes, you're networking with potential clients and your community, but you also need to be networking with realtors to stay
networking is
in the
so
know.
Huge.
Yes.
Well, especially like as we're shifting into a slower market, I do think that people will keep things off market for a while, like, and just kind of put the word out just because some things are selling slow. And so as soon as you put it on the market, you've got those days that are just like adding up.
Right. And especially when sellers have a lot of flexibility and when they need to
Yeah.
sell, like they might list something off market to say like, hey, if I can get this price or if I can get a lease back until I need it, like I'm going to be open to take an offer, but I don't need to list it and deal with showings all the time until, 3 months in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a big one. Of course, negotiating contracts,
Yes.
showing properties, taking
I
photos for new
love
listings.
showings. I love
Yes.
showings. I think they're
Buyers
so
are
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
Buyers, it's exciting, especially when it's like a first time home buyer and
Yeah.
it's like really exciting where it's like a dream home. And,
Yeah.
those are always a lot of
But
fun.
wait, like, let's be real. Don't you always think that very first showing with someone is like so awkward? Like the very first house you walk into with a new client.
Yes, because you like
It's so awkward.
it takes a little bit to like know really what they are thinking and what
Yeah.
they want. I mean, not that we can ever read minds, but to kind of gauge what they're wanting. And
Sometimes I walk into that very first showing, I'm like, and here's the living room.
yes.
Just like,
Well, and
why did I say that?
before getting into real estate, it's like very interesting different ways to show. Like I very much believe that my job is not to sell a house. Like
Yes.
when I
Well, maybe
have
on the list you're talking about for buyers.
for buyers.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Like for the listing, yes, you have a house and your job is to get a buyer and to get the buyer's agent, to bring an offer. But when you're in with a buyer, your job is not to get them to put an offer on a
Yeah.
house. Your job is to like listen to them and find out what the best fit is. Now, are there going to be compromises one way or another? There's never the perfect house.
Yeah.
But before I was in real estate,
No
like,
one wants to be pressured into buying
yes,
something.
or like being told that like a house that's not great is great. Like,
Yeah.
that is my biggest.
Well, that's also
pet
so
peeve.
messed up to do
Yeah.
that. I do think people want to be told like what they should be buying. Like I think, like I want to be told like I don't want to have to go look for clothes. Like I do
Yeah.
want to know like can you give me like 5 dress options that are like my style and I'll like choose one. I do think people want that. And so I
Yeah.
think that's where it comes in where we're like these are houses that we should look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like based on what your goal is, what
Yeah.
your needs are, like these are what I would recommend.
Listings like you could be doing anything.
Absolutely. I have one experience that I had a house under contract.
Mhm.
And it was elderly parents that were moving in with their adult children that do not live in Dallas.
Okay.
So the adult children were like managing this from out of town, which brings a level of complexity to any deal. So they came, packed the stuff that they needed, and then hired an estate sale company to come in. And so the estate sale company came in, their job, they had the estate sale Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then they had a donation company come in, pick up the rest, and they were supposed to leave the house like anything that was left. They were supposed to haul it off the property, leave it empty. So I come in Monday to check on the house. We're closing the next day. And as I pull up, the guy who was supposed to be emptying the property was loading a few more bags in his Suburban.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a mountain of trash on the curb.
Oh my God.
And I am not even exaggerating. It was a mountain. It was
like
probably
how big?
5 feet, like by 20 feet. It was.
What?
Yes. You needed a long dumpster, like one of those 20-foot dumpsters. And maybe it would have.
You need like a trash removal company.
Yes. It would have been more than just one truck of those trash removal companies. It would have been more.
Oh my gosh.
It was a ton. And so it was bulk trash week. So he was planning on just leaving. And I was like, no, you cannot leave this here. Well, he did.
Well, that's like a shitty estate sale company.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was not a good situation. And I think part of it was the people were packing when the estate sale was supposed to be in there organizing stuff. So it was just kind of a cluster, the whole thing. Like they didn't get to organize it as much as possible. So there was a lot left over after the sale, more than they anticipated, but it's still not okay. They agreed to do something and they didn't do it. Well, I mean, the sellers are out of town. So I'm like, I'm going to just deal with this. And
as you would.
Yes.
I feel like that's very like you, Melissa. Like you're just going to like creatively figure out a way to make this fix this.
Yeah, I think as our job, I think if it's if there's a problem, unless the client needs to know, there's no reason to like, I didn't even tell him that this happened.
Okay.
They still don't know that this happened. I just dealt with it.
Until now.
Yeah. I just got rid of it. But, so I call my uncle and I'm like, I need you here now. And he drove a little truck and it was like, the mini Ford or Toyota,
Yeah.
like the really, really
Okay,
small
Ryan's
ones.
like so obsessed with those little trucks.
They're very cute.
Yeah.
But they don't have a big bed space.
Yeah.
So he comes and we start loading the truck. I call my husband. He has a work van. So I'm like, get the work van here. I need help hauling off trash.
Yeah. Oh my God. Thank God for that work van. We have used it so many times.
Yeah. Staging, hauling off trash, very convenient.
Yeah.
So we're like loading up and the HOA president comes up and is like walking his dog. This is a very small neighborhood. It's 2 cul-de-sacs that don't even connect. God. It's very, very small. And he's like, this is completely unacceptable. This cannot be here. And I said, I know. And mind you, I came from the office just to swing by and check on the house.
You
not
didn't even
anticipating
know that the trash was there.
Yeah. So I am in a dress, like a business dress and heels, throwing trash in the back of a Ford. Oh. And he's like, this is unacceptable. And I said, I know. I'm taking care of it. And he said, in that truck? And I'm like, yes.
The nerve.
Yes.
Dude, what do you think I'm doing?
Yeah, like, no.
I'm getting rid of the trash.
Yeah, I'm just standing here for fun.
Yeah.
No. So I don't know, 3-4 hours later, who knows? I stayed at the house the whole time, like loading the different cars. And my uncle and my husband, they went around, and I probably shouldn't even admit to this, but we filled up the restaurant dumpster. My husband's in the restaurant business. We dumped a few bags in random apartment complexes dumpsters. And then the remaining, which was quite a bit, we had just moved into our house. The house that we live in now, it was bulk trash week, and they came and lined, we're a corner lot. So we have like 2 sides of the house that are street. We lined our entire property line.
Oh my gosh.
That faces the street with black trash bags.
I mean, that's a lot because I've seen your house and it's a big corner lot. Yeah. There's like a lot of like curb space.
Yes. And the entire property line was lined with black trash bags.
What did your neighbor say?
Well, a couple weeks or months later, one of my neighbors was talking to my husband and was like, what was up with all that trash? And my husband was like, oh, somebody just came and put all this trash on the side of our house. Like, that was not ours. It was so embarrassing. But I got all the trash, and I even swept the sidewalk because there was like broken glass and stuff. So I swept the sidewalk, and then I walked right over to that HOA president's door because I saw which house he went into after walking his dog, and I knocked on the door to tell him that, yes, I cleaned that up with that little bitty truck.
Yeah.
Got my attitude coming
out. I love it.
But he did not answer the front door, so I never got to confront him. So
he was probably too scared.
Yeah, but I handled it.
I love that story. I did not know this about you. Like,
this was before we partnered
before
up.
we were partners. Okay.
But I mean, the bottom line is, like, we do what needs to get done.
Yeah, we do
to get a deal done. So,
now you have trash expert on your resume.
Yes.
So at the end of every episode, we are either going to like answer a question that a listener or viewer is asking, or we are going to share an anonymous confession of a homeowner. I'm not sure how we're going to get those confessions, but we are going to figure that out. But since we don't have any questions on our first episode yet, I think I came prepared with a question. Okay. So if you were going to buy a vacation home somewhere, where would you buy it? And I think like budget, like let's be reasonable on like price, but I do think like a pretty decent budget for this because some of these places are pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Where most vacation homes are.
So
maybe like $2 million.
I think I would... I feel like I'm a good mountain girl, even though like all of my vacations have been to the beach, but I grew up in Utah, so we would go hiking in the mountains. And I think if I were to choose a vacation home today, it would be in a mountain area. What about you?
I'm a beach girl. I love the beach. It's like my happy place. Like if I'm just like walking on the beach with like my headphones on by myself or like maybe with my dog, it's just the most relaxing thing to me. If you want to send in a question or a confession, we will figure out a way to receive those. For now, it could be an Instagram DM.
Hmm.
And if you send it, we'll just make sure that your confession is anonymous.
Yep.
Um, and we'll until next time.